We are doing TV reviews and we're doing the TV show Wednesday. This is going to be the fourth episode called Whoa, What a Night. And what we do is we ask each other questions about certain scenes or characters in the show and try to put ourselves with the director or screenwriter, editor uh, in the room with them to find out what they think, what they're just why they made those decisions. So that's what we're gonna do, and I'm gonna start off asking Kerel a question. So, so Hand helps Wednesday break into the morgue, right? She does an autopsy on the homeless man, and then Hand alerts her that someone's coming. Wednesday hides in one of the morgue freezers, and then the sheriff and Mortician discuss the man's foot that's not attached to his leg. It's kept in a jar. So, what do you think the reason is for the monster doing that, for taking off people's uh, feet? Do you think it will be paid off in future episodes and seasons?
So, just for the audience, just hand we're talking about thing, um, but I thought that was pretty weird. Um, in the episode, they don't explain that in any particular detail. It's awkward, they find out not only the foot missing the two toes, but there's as Wednesday investigates, she finds out with every victim there's a body part that is taken out surgically. Um, I'm not sure about why that's happening per se. I would think a lot of times when something's taken out of a victim, a lot of times it's a situation where it's like a souvenir, of the crime, and the suspect will take that and keep that. But in this situation, these items aren't taken; they're left there. So it kind of just makes me wonder the purpose of that. Like why cut off these toes and cut off the foot, but every other body part remains, and then you just leave it there. So it's kind of awkward. I'm curious if they will pay that off later on and explain to us why that's taking place. But yeah, no, I think it's definitely something that can be a good clue to something that we might be revealed later on.
Yeah, I was thinking about it. Like, I didn't understand why they had that be a peculiarity of the monster. Like, does he not like the taste of feet? That's all I could think of. But because of the ending, which I'm not going to spoil, I think there's a larger story than just the monster. I think that the monster, like, the monster has a master, which at this point I think everyone has who's caught up on the episodes knows that. Um, and I think the master had a master. That's my theory. And this master is even worse than all of the other villains that have been on the show. I don't know that for certain, but I think that if you want to keep an audience mystified and on the edge of their seat and wanting to come back more to find out more information, a good way to do that is leave little clues like that. If I were the director and screenwriter, I would, start foreshadowing what will ultimately be the end of the show and the big reveal. So that's all I've got for as far as if it will get paid off. I don't, clearly we're not in the writer's room. We're not talking to the director. So these are all speculations, but I do think that there is a possibility that there's a big bad out there. And this is like something that is not easily defeated. And it's going to take everybody in the school, everybody in the community, her parents, her brother, Uncle Fester, and everybody and thing. Everybody's going to have a part in defeating it. I think that's my theory. Then.
Yeah. I think that'd be really cool, especially after making it through the first season, which I thought was really well done. Um, it makes you think like, okay, well, how are they going to top this, with the second season? So yeah, like you're saying, like maybe like little breadcrumbs or whatnot. Maybe that's what this is leading you to a bigger villain, and this is just small pieces of the puzzle.
Yeah. And so to just to add a question in this, what do you think about the fact that Wednesday was in the freezer and the mortician takes her out? And he thinks she's a dead body because she's so cold.
I thought that was really funny. We are obviously know that because, like, with her pale skin, and just the always wearing black, she definitely could look like a corpse in a casket. So I thought that was really funny. And then, with him touching her, to check, like, I guess her temperature or whatnot, it made sense because she had been in there. I mean, not long, few minutes, but those things are like really cold. So the cold to the touch, that made sense. But the fact that he was like, "Oh, she's in full rigor mortis," that was really funny. It was like, "Oh man, like you're like she's just dead, a dead person walking, basically."
Yeah, I thought that was a little overboard. I don't think that's necessarily realistic. I think they just did it for laughs, which I understand, but it has to be believable. And I just don't think if you're a mortician and you think somebody who's alive is dead in the freezer, I'm not going to trust you to do autopsies and to be able to declare people dead. So,
Yeah, no, I agree because, like, as I said, she was only in there for maybe a few minutes tops, because they're approaching, and Thing warns her, and so she hides in there. So, like, literally, it could only been a few minutes that she was in the little in the casing or in the morgue thing. So yeah, it's definitely not something that a professional would have just fallen for. But hey, it was a good laugh.
yeah. And obviously, they're trying to stretch the believability so it's more entertaining, more dramatic, and more comedic. Because if it was just everyday life, people probably wouldn't tune in. So, I mean,
Yeah.
they have to exaggerate a lot of stuff just to keep everybody interested.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, just to give it some heartedness.
Mm. And then so what do you think? Okay, what did Wednesday find out about the homeless man when she did the autopsy?
Okay, what was it?
I don't think she did complete it.
No, she didn't. She was going to, but she didn't have time. All she did was analyze the body. That's when she found out that he was missing a foot. Um, but that was about it. And then she mentioned how he was, like, mutilated, like, I guess in the stomach area, because, like, chest up he was fine. You saw his whole body, and but yeah, I think the stomach area. She mentioned that he was mutilated, and then his foot being missing.
Yeah, because I remember like she just got him like was getting her the surgical instruments ready, and then thing heard a noise, and then she also heard one. So
Yeah, there was actually a funny little dialogue, as they got in there when she's, you know, opening her kit for, with the scalpel and all those things, and she tells Thing, like, I want you to go, like, make copies of all, like, the photos, basically. And she's like, I'll handle the autopsy. And, Thing, in his way, basically is saying, like, he wanted to do the autopsy. And she mentions how he messed up the last autopsy that they were doing. She said when she was 13, she was given a cadaver by her uncle Fester, which was pretty funny. It's like, wait, you were given a cadaver at 13 years old. And I guess Thing had, like, cut too deep in the cadaver, and so that's why she wasn't allowing him to do this autopsy. So I thought that was pretty funny.
you just I can't even imagine like a hand give one hand that's not attached to a body giving an autopsy. That just yeah no.
Yeah, but I mean, I think that's part of the whole, the comedy of Thing himself is the fact that he pretty much can do anything anybody can do, and almost without limitations, and that's pretty laughable, being that he's just a hand. Like when they show up to the morgue, and he's making the copies, and he, like, uses fingers to, like, open the blinds, like he's peeking out of the window, and it's just like, I'm still not understanding how he sees things. It's like, Like
Like
if it
if it
was a
was a
sense
sense,
thing, like he can feel the vibrations and things like that, that'd be a lot more believable. But like literally showing like he's looking out the window, it's just like
Yeah,
what is he looking with?
that's true. I never thought of that. That's funny. And then yeah, there's a lot of things that like, and he seems to be able to move pretty quickly when he's walking. So he ends up like as if he's just has legs and walking places. And
Yeah,
it's
yeah,
just and it just it's not really realistic that he would get all the way across the school kind of thing, or he'd get from like to the. I mean, obviously, like he jumps on cars to travel in the back, and then but some of the things that he does, it just doesn't. It's. I think they're just doing it because the Addams Family originals did it, and we don't need to think about how he does things realistically. So
I
right,
think also because like thinking like the director, um, you're taking a character that, as far as my memory serves, because it's been a long time since the original Addams Family, and even some of the later shows or films. Um, he was pretty minor character, but this being Wednesday and it being her show, and him basically being like her running her partner in crime, basically like he's right there with her through the entire thing, so he has a more vital role at this point. And so I think because of that, he has to be more animated, he has to be more able, like, I mean, how much momentum can some fingers really have to like jump from the ground to when he jumps to the homeless man to strangle him? Like he's basically jumping like 5 feet in the air with just finger momentum, so it's just like it's pretty like crazy the things that he does. But I think that was on the director's part. It was something that needed to happen to make him a character that has
life,
more life. Yeah.
because yeah, if you just showed him like not being able to do anything because he's a hand, nobody would pay attention to him. So
yeah,
jumping in the air wouldn't. If he couldn't do it, then what's the point of having the character? So
yeah.
I mean, he could have crawled up the homeless man, but
yeah, that would
Again,
be a
I
little
think,
weird.
makes it more exciting, to have him being able to do those things.
Like a spider hand.
yeah.
So there's Spider-Man. Okay. Yeah.
Big thanks to everyone for tuning in, and please be sure to like, share, comment, and subscribe. Have a good day.